All right, welcome to the Flip Your Life podcast, the go-to podcast for you to flip your life and financial future through real estate. My name is Riley Pilgrim, and today I got Vaughn Bethell, and we are going to be talking about understanding the basics or the 101 of private lending versus traditional financing.
What's going on, everybody? I'm excited about this topic because this is what we do on a daily basis.
All right, so obviously to start off, Vaughn, what are some of the basic ways that private lending differs from traditional bank financing that everyone kind of knows about?
Well, not all the red tape, right? So private lending is built off of relationships and trust, right? And relationships are great, but trust is a huge thing as well. But also you want to trust, but verify too, right? So one of my mentors has always said, in God we trust, everything else needs collateral, right?
Okay.
But the best thing with private lending is I can go to a friend, colleague, somebody I was referred to, and as long as the numbers make sense and their money's protected and they trust me and I've built credibility, like I can be funded within a matter of hours. So I can't do that at a bank. There's a lot of red tape that the bank has to go through as far as approval process and, sending it from, section to section or office to office or wherever it may be. And so that paperwork is very minimal on the private side as well. It's really just a matter of a promissory note and possibly a mortgage or deed of trust.
Got it. Okay. So to kind of boil that down, it sounds like one of the main differences is just the fact that instead of the money coming from a massive institution with, that's government backed, and so there's all this regulation, red tape, it's coming from individuals who have money that want a return on their money and are willing to lend it against real estate.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
simple enough.
The biggest thing is where do you think the institutions get their money?
That's true.
Right? They're coming from individuals that have money and they want to invest it in something, right? And typically those are people investing in banks. When we put our money in banks, right? So we all have checking accounts, maybe savings accounts, money market accounts. What do you think they do with that money?
They turn around and lend it right back out.
They turn around and lend it right back out, right? So what we do is go direct to the source, which is what we call our private money partners. And that can be anybody, just somebody we know. You could be my private lender. My mom can be my private lender, right? Anybody off the street can be my private lender. But the biggest thing is to make sure that I build a relationship with them and they know, like, and trust me.
Got it.
So
now, with that being said, what would you say are like maybe some of the top few benefits and risks involved in private lending?
Okay. Private lending, if you're doing it on real estate, which is what we do, right? So the biggest benefit is you have security.
Okay.
Right. So when you put your money in the stock market or in the bank, in the bank, you have some security, right? But when you put it in the stock market could be volatile and the stock market could actually crash at some point in time.
Sure.
Right. If the stock market crashes, you lose everything. Whereas with real estate, there's always going to be a value to real estate, even if it was just for the land. But we put a lot of protections in place to make sure that one of our private lenders or private money partners, their money's protected, meaning that the chance of them losing their money is slim to none, right? I'm not saying it can't happen.
Yeah, sure.
Right? But the chance of it happening is very, very slim.
I see. So basically you're saying like with the stock market, not only, there's no control over the asset at all. And then we all have seen stocks that go from whatever valuation per share literally to zero.
Yep.
Whereas real estate, there's the land itself will at least always have some value. So the investor's money, some portion of it in an absolute worst case scenario, it will never be a zero, the amount that they invested will never be totally and utterly lost.
Yes,
right?
It'll never be a zero value.
Even if the house burns down, you have insurance.
Yeah, and that's what the biggest thing is. Even if the worst case scenario, house burns down and insurance lapse, right? You got a piece of land.
You still got a piece of raw land.
And there's one thing that they're not making any more of right now, right?
That's fair.
And that's land. And so that land is always going to have some value. So in the absolute worst case scenario, you can never lose all your money.
Sure.
Right. But, speaking of that, there's a lot of protections we put in place to cover both our lenders and ourselves. And one of those is being property insurance or hazard insurance.
Okay.
Right. If something were to happen and the property did, for say, burn down, well, insurance is going to cover the lenders on the property or the people that have a equitable position. Right. So with our private money partners, they're usually in first or second position. They go ahead of me. Right. So they'll get paid out either first or second before I get a dime.
Yep. You're always last in the payout from those kind of things.
Exactly.
That's good to know. That's really valuable if someone's considering investing, knowing that you, who, you're the one doing all the work and manage it. And for you to make money, everyone else is, no matter what the situation is, everyone's got to get paid before you get paid.
Exactly. And another part of that is like what a lot of people don't know is with private lending or private, money partnering with us, they're coming in and their money, I'm not making any money directly from their money. I'm using their money to create an opportunity for me to make money.
I see.
And what I mean by that is if somebody is going in and investing in the stock market, if they're using a financial advisor or a wealth advisor, how does that wealth advisor get paid?
Directly from their investment.
From their investment. So let's say they're putting it in the stock market and that stock market is providing a 9 or 10% return. Well, there's a certain percentage of that that's coming off the top. So it's not really a 9 or 10% return.
Sure.
Right. So it might be 8.5%, 9% or whatever it may be, because that wealth advisor or financial advisor is making money off of their money.
Yeah.
Whereas in our scenario, we give them a return based off 100% of their investment. Right. But it's that value add. So if I have $100,000 of private money invested in a property, I need to be able to sell that property for more than $100,000 and I make my money on the spread.
Sure.
That makes sense?
Yep, sure does. Awesome. Well, we've talked about the REI Junkies mission before. I don't know if you want to briefly restate that, but the question I want to ask you is for people to understand, how does the private lender aspect play into the REI Junkies mission? What part does it play and how important is it?
So just to restate our mission, because we can never say that enough, our goal, our purpose, cause, and passion is to provide the dream of homeownership through non-traditional financing to 500 families by 12/31/2030. Okay. So with that stated, we can't do that without private money partners, right? Because I can't go to the bank and say, hey, give me a loan for this property. I'm going to buy this property, fix it up, and then I'm going to sell it to somebody that you probably won't approve on the first time origination. And I'm going to let you be in first position, right? Banks just don't like that, right? Because they don't want there to be a gap. They want to be the lender, right? So with private money, we rely on private money to provide the opportunity to help get people in homes, to provide that dream of homeownership. So right now, we have no problem finding properties. We're very good at that. We have no problem finding buyers or borrowers, right? We have a waiting list of people that want to buy or need to buy on rent to own, owner finance, or lease purchase, right?
Sure.
So our only gap, our only choking point or bottleneck is capital, right? So we're constantly looking for partners, people that have money and maybe their money is not giving them a great return. It could be sitting in a checking account making 1 or 2%, a money market account maybe making 2 or 3%. Even if it's in the stock market, and over time the stock market's okay, you can you average about 9 to 10% over a long period of time, but it's very volatile, right? So it goes up and down. And for people that are near retirement,
it's not a great idea.
It's not a great idea, because what if you retire or need to pull that money out on a down year and your portfolio has just lost a lot of money?
Yeah.
Right. So we're looking for people that are pretty risk averse. They like consistency. They want security, but most importantly, they want to have a social impact in the community and help somebody else through their investment. So they're getting the best of, I'll say best of both worlds, right?
Yep.
They're investing, they're making money off their investment, but they're also helping somebody as well.
Yep.
So they're having an impact in the community.
Love it, man. Well, yeah, if you're watching and, if this is intriguing to you, if, you have any interest in placing some money somewhere, definitely consider Vaughn and REI Junkies and what they're doing. And stay tuned for further episodes, because we're going to dive deeper into things like this, other aspects of real estate, and the whole 9 yards. So hope this has been helpful to you guys. Any last words, Vaughn?
No. If you're considering investing, or maybe you're currently investing and not happy with the returns that you're getting, or you just want to make a bigger impact, you feel like you're driven for purpose, book a call with me. Let's talk and just talk about your goals and see how or what it looks like to become a partner of ours.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Vaughn.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
I give him that ditty bop, like take that.